about it, and you could see the relief, the excitement, all in one, because there were a lot of emotions going through you in that octagon afterwards.
Yeah, man. You go to some pretty dark places, especially after the Kevin Holland fight. It was one of those fights where I underperformed, and I feel like I beat myself, and I really had to come out of a rut in the last year, and I got to thank my family and the people that I love, because I learned throughout the course of this year that the opinions that matter, the people that matter, they don't care if you win or lose. They're going to love you the same regardless. And when I say that, I mean specifically the 3 women in that shot right there. But the people that matter, they're going to love you the same whether you win or lose. And I felt like that set me free this fight. And it just helped me put my best foot forward, man. Prior to this fight, my last win was here in Etihad Arena against Neil Magny. Get back in the win column in the same arena. I don't think I'll ever fight anywhere else.
Well, what was the biggest relief? I mean, there was a lot of pressure, like fighting Tony, getting that win. I mean, so much going on, like not having a win in a minute. So what was the biggest relief for you?
The biggest relief for me was just getting the validation that I'm still elite. You know, like I fell out of the rankings after the Holland fight, rightfully so. You know, I'm in a shark tank of a welterweight division. But I see the way I perform in the gym. Like my practices, the next closest guy to my age is like 10 years younger than me, you know. So I'm going with these young bucks, and they're pushing me, and I'm still performing well. But not only did I have to go out and beat Tony, I had to go pitch a shutout, and I say that with all due respect. You know, given the fact that he was on this extensive skid, he still has all his tools. He still has all his offense. He still has that Darce choke. He still has everything that makes him Tony Ferguson. So it's not pressure to beat a guy that's in a rut. It's the pressure to just go out there and perform. So I just feel like I just got this big weight off my shoulders, Dean. It feels really good.
I think that's something that gets missed a lot as fighters, but as an analyst, you understand that if, you know, like you said, if we go to a second round, like you're almost losing regardless of what happens those next 2 rounds. How did you, because I feel like you're a guy that deserves one of these signature wins like this. I think as you've been around the sport a long time, like we all want that one signature legend that we can kind of sail off at some point in time and have. How do you put all that out of your mind and not let it kind of squash you as you're working your way through training camp?
I think that the thing that made it really easy, Anthony, was that this is a fight that I was supposed to have in 2016. I was supposed to get this fight 8 years ago. So I think that helped alleviate a lot of that pressure where it was just like, oh, man, I'm getting this chance. I never thought I would get it. You know, Tony was supposed to be my first main event. I asked to fight the Boogeyman amidst the 12-fight win streak he was on. I asked for him when he was in the thick of it. And once I went up to 170, I just didn't think I would get that fight again. So when they called me about the fight, I didn't even think about all the other outside pressure. I just got really excited to get out there and just kind of get the fight that I never thought that I would get. Tony, I've always said would be a big test for me, but I do feel like my style matches up really good with his. I think that the fight would have played out exactly the same if I would have got to fight him in 2016. Maybe the fight would have went a little longer, but you are very correct. I wasn't in a rush to get the finish. A big part of the game plan was be patient. What cost me in the Kevin Holland fight? Lack of patience. I wanted to get in there and try to get him out there as fast as I could because he's so dangerous. Tony's a very dangerous guy, but my coach told me, like, less is more. He will create the openings for you. If you stay patient, if you trust your striking, the openings will present themselves, and I'm just glad I was able to get it done in the first round.
Yeah, got it done early with that rear naked choke, and a very classy moment when you essentially handed the mic over to Tony. Did you know you were going to do that beforehand, or was that an in-the-moment type of thing?
You know, for me, everybody manifests wins differently. For me, I start to think about my post-fight speech. I kind of start to think about my call-out, and I start to think about that, and that's not looking ahead, but that's just, to me, that's how you manifest a win. Like, hey, this is what I'm going to say when I win. You know, you start to put these little things together in your mind about what you're going to do when you win, and I told myself, if I win this fight, we're on ABC. I'm a broadcaster. I understand time constraints. I saw that, you know, the first couple fights went long, and I just knew, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to win this fight. I'm just going to walk out of there and let the man have his moment. He deserves it, especially being on ABC, millions of viewers. It just felt like the right thing to do, and I'm glad I did it.
Well, if you had talked a little longer, then we probably would have had a nice big chunk to fill on ABC. But, you know, I'm just kidding. But here's Tony. So he throws one glove in, and then he walks out of the octagon, by the way, and he says, I'm not done yet. I still have more work to do. So there's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We don't really know what the future for Tony Ferguson is, but we do know that this was a great win. You talked about being here last time against Neil Magny, and the guy said it during the call. That might have been the best fight of your career against Neil Magny. So this is a place that loves you, and you love it back.
Yeah, I love it back. And I think the best way to describe Tony's post-fight speech was, that was like the Tonyest that was the Toniest way to go out. Like one glove in, one glove out. That was the Toniest thing he could have possibly done. So that's why we love him. We love the quirkiness of Tony Ferguson. We love the way he fights. We love the personality. I'm a fan first, and I will forever be a fan of Tony Ferguson.
We can't let you leave here without asking what you want. Since we didn't get it in the octagon, who do you want next?
I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, man. I want the same guy I asked for last time I was here. I want to fight Colby Covington before I retire. I'm 36 years old. We're in the same age bracket. At this point, Anthony, I'm not really chasing the title. And I feel like that was a lot of pressure too. I come up short to Luque, and the rumor was you beat him, you're going to be fighting Kamaru next. And there was already rumblings about me and Kamaru before the Luque fight. And then, okay, I got to rebound with Sean Brady. I got to get back in the title hunt. Okay, Kevin Holland, I got to hold my spot in the rankings so I can get to a title. That starts to snowball into a lot of pressure, especially when things aren't going your way. I just don't really give a crap about the number next to Colby's name. He may reside in Dade County. I don't give a shit where he resides, Dade County, Miami, whatever. You're from Oregon. I am from Washington. I want to find out who's the best goddamn welterweight in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe we're long overdue for a card in Portland or Seattle, so there is no better fight to put together than me and Colby Covington. I know it's a long shot, but hey, I'm not here for a long time, just a good time.
Now, here's the thing. I mean, I know how much you love this job.
Yeah.
And for me, I ain't going to lie to you, man. I told these guys before, I said, this is going to be his last fight. But it seems like you really want Colby. Is Colby the thing that's keeping you around?
You look at certain matchups, and there's just certain things that keep you around. But for me, my uncle Joe is a sports psychologist, and I think my biggest problem is I'm always looking ahead. I'm okay, I got this fight, but I'm always looking ahead. The title, this. I get myself away from the moment sometimes. So I just stayed focused on Tony Ferguson and just kind of let things come out naturally thereafter. And that's just what comes out. I just want to fight Colby Covington. It's not something that I've been dwelling on, but I've done a good job this camp just focusing on the task at hand. It's all about August 3rd, and there are a lot of swirling retirement talks, especially when we're here. I don't have to do this anymore. I really don't have to fight. I'm in a good spot financially. I'm in a good spot in life. I'm happily married. I have so many good things going for me. I don't have to compete anymore. I'm here because I want to. I'm here because I want to be here. But, you get done with a fight with Tony Ferguson, and that's just the first thing that comes to mind. I want to find out who's the best goddamn welterweight in the Pacific Northwest.
Watch your mouth about Dade County, because that's where I be hanging out. I hang out Dade County every week, so watch your mouth.
Yeah, well, but there's a couple of guys who claim to be the king of Miami. We'll find out who's the king of the Pacific Northwest. Somebody clip that off, throw it on Twitter, and let's see if we can get an answer from Colby Covington.
Yep.
Michael, we couldn't be happier for you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
It was a pleasure to share it with you tonight. Thanks for coming up to the desk and filling a good, 10 minutes of the show.
Hey, and I'll see you guys next weekend, August 10th at the Apex. I'm right back at the desk. I'm right back to work, boys. I'm the busiest man in MMA, much like Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Trying.
You don't even have a scrape on your face. She's good to go.